Hello beautiful people, how are we doing? I thought it was about time we did our full TBR. Does anybody else suffer with first day hair? Like just whenever I wash my hair like the first day, it just looks crazy. Like it just doesn't look good ever. But day 2 hair, oh yeah. The day 1 hair, babe. Not a fan. Anyway, today's list is split into 2 categories. We have new releases, so they've either just come out, about to come out, you know the jam, and then books on my TBR that I already own that I want to get to, that give autumn, fall, good, spooky, autumnal vibes. Let's start with new releases. I'm not gonna lie, I was trying to do a bunch of research. I went through a bunch of websites. I wasn't really super feeling it. There are a handful that I'm excited for that we're going to chat through now, but honestly, there were loads that, I don't know. Normally I'm really excited whenever I Google new book releases like coming up. There just weren't loads that I was excited about. But anyway, I'm rambling. These are the ones that I am excited about. Starting with, it's on my 25 books to read in 2025. I have been waiting patiently. We Love You Bunny by Mona Awad. This is the sequel to Bunny. I know that book divides the room, but I am very much on the side of loving it. Bunny is like a kind of horror, fever dreamy book about writers in a university and like this girl just falling in with this cult, basically. The sequel, from what I remember, is something to do with, we're following our main girl, and I think the other bunnies, the other girls in this group, have written a book about her or about their experiences. Maybe I should Google it. Maybe that would help rather than just making it up. Hang on, yeah, I was lying to you. I thought I might have been. So reverse what I just said. Our main girl has written a book, and I think she kind of calls out the other girls and they are not happy about that, so they kidnap her. That's the plot. It's described as a fairy tale slasher. That's so fun. I don't know what to expect, but I'm seated, I'm sat. I loved Bunny. Did it need a sequel? No. Am I gonna read it anyway? Absolutely. Absolutely, babe. Moving on. Hot Wax, Amal Rio. Amal Rio wrote If We Were Villains, among probably other things. Yeah, pretty sure. If We Were Villains is the only one that I've read. It was a 5-star for me. I loved it. This one is something to do with the music industry. It's set in 1989. Our main girl is called Summer. No, she's not. It's set in summer. So we're following Suzanne, who, I think it kind of jumps around in time, but she's 10 years old at one point in the story, and her mother remarries, and I'm assuming she marries somebody in a band because I think they then go on tour with the band, and then I think it's about all of the things that happened that summer and then the impact those things had on her in like the now timeline. I've kind of skimmed the blurb, but that's the impression I got. But let me tell you, band culture, books about music, bands, anything like that, I eat it up. Next up, I'm so ready for this, Katabasis, R.F. Kuang. I actually, ages ago, was in a bookstore in London and they had stacks upon stacks of Katabasis, like way before it was meant to come out. Why did I not buy one? I literally don't know what came over me. I just, no, I have no excuse, I don't know. I think I got distracted by something else, forgot they were that, and then just didn't get one. But it was so long before they were meant to come out. It was like a month. Why did I not get one? Anyway, it just sounds so fun. We're following 2 graduate students who I think have a little bit of a rivalry going on, and then their professor's soul gets taken or something to hell, so they go to hell together to try and rescue him, to get him back. That's all I know. That's all I need to know. I'm ready. I think a lot of people are anticipating this one and I am very much amongst them. I am so excited. Then just a book that I've seen everywhere. I haven't actually heard a review of it, but it's just in every bookshop window and I'm intrigued. It is called The Artist. Oh, it won the Waterstones debut fiction, which is probably why it's in every Waterstones' window ever. That makes sense. It was also longlisted for the Women's Prize. And we are following Etty in 1920, and we're in a remote farmhouse, and it says that she is silently creating the conditions for her uncle to work, and her uncle is this like incredible genius artist. And then a man called Joseph gets invited to the house. He is an aspiring journalist. And then it just says, everyone has secrets, and under the cover of darkness, Etty has spent years cultivating hers. I don't really know what to expect. It says it's a blend of mystery but also slow burn romance, which I actually didn't realise, but fun. I just feel like it's going to be a very atmospheric, gloomy, autumnal feel kind of a book. Hopefully. I don't know. I've never actually heard a review of it, as I say. If anyone's read it, tell me what you think. Next, we have Girl Dinner by Olivie Blake. This one is coming out October 21st. So it looks like we're following a super exclusive sorority at a university. And our main girl, it says she has a freshman year that she wants to forget. Is that her first year? I actually forget how the American school system works. That's first year? Or is that high school? I don't think it matters. It's the previous year. Like, it just says a year that she wants to forget. And then it sounds like she's trying to get in to this like super exclusive sorority. And then we are at the same time following a professor, Dr. Sloan. And oh, she's just been demoted. Okay, so it's her returning to work having been demoted. It says, after 18 months at home with her newborn daughter, her clothes don't fit right. Her girl dad husband isn't as present as he thinks he is. Hang on. Is this gonna be a tale of motherhood, specifically a dark one? Because if it is, I'm reading it immediately. You guys know that this year I have just become obsessed with that theme in books. It just hits for me every single time. If this is going to incorporate that, this is a 5-star prediction. So this professor also gets invited to this sorority. It says they are drawn together into like a sisterhood. It says they'll have to decide just how much power they can stomach in the name of solidarity and power. That sounds incredible. Guys, I need to order that immediately. Immediately. Okay. Issue is, and I run into this issue every time I talk about new releases, I have other books by Olivie Blake in paperback and I don't want the hardback because I like them all matching. I'll have a think. Do I just order it? I'll see if the library has it, but new releases like this, you're normally looking at like month-long wait lists. I don't know. I'll have a think. I'll get back to you. Okay, next on the list. Oh, this is a bit of a random rogue one, but I have Always Remember by Charlie Mackesy. Hang on. I don't know why I keep this by my bed. I kind of just put it there one day and it never moved. But Charlie Mackesy wrote The Boy, the Mole, the Fox and the Horse, which my mum bought me when I was in university. And I think he's gone like semi-viral for some of his... sorry, I'm not even showing you, I'm showing myself. For some of his like paintings and quotes. They are just absolutely gorgeous. I actually have a print of one of his up here. Shall I show you? Hang on. I've got this one as a print which says, the greatest illusion, said the mole, is that life should be perfect. And then my favourite thing about that picture specifically is obviously the whole quote is about life doesn't have to be perfect. The artist's dog walked over the picture and like smudged it all, and there's a little note at the bottom that says that, and you can see like where the dog has walked over it and smudged it. And I just think that is such a like cute, lovely story, and I actually want to get that as a tattoo one day. How that would work, I'm not totally sure because it's very like watercolory. I feel like it won't be the easiest thing to tattoo, but nonetheless. If anyone has any thoughts on that, let me know, but I've always said I want to get that as a tattoo. Anyway, that was very long and tangenty, but he wrote this book and he has a new one coming out. I don't know anything about it. It looks relatively similar vibes. I'm assuming it's going to be another like quite uplifting, positive drawings, artwork, quotes, that kind of thing. I don't know. I just saw it when I was researching books for this video and I just thought I'd include it because this book is stunning and I'd love to own the other one. I should actually put this on my bookshelves. I've no idea why this is by my bed. That concludes the first half of this video and we're going to move on to talk about the books on my TBR that I either think give full vibes or just really need to prioritise. Starting with, you're probably sick of hearing me say it, Babel. Yeah, it's time. I am intimidated by this book just because everybody has told me it's very dense and it's quite an intimidating book. It's very long, the text is tiny. That being said, every time I say that, my comments are full of people singing this book's praises, and I've loved R.F. Kuang's books in the past, so I think I just need to be a big girl and read it because I think I'm gonna love it. I really do. And I feel like there's no better time than the fall. So that is definitely priority number one. Everyone hold me to that. It's also on my 25 to read in 2025. I'm at some point thinking of doing like a dedicated reading vlog where I just read all the books left on that list. I think we have I want to say like 12 books left. Quite a lot. So that may come in that video at some point. Next, a book that I just bought, Station 11. I'm low-key kind of in my sci-fi era at the moment. I've read a few recently and really enjoyed them. I read Sea of Tranquility by the same author and adored it. So I went out, bought Station 11, and I'm ready because this one is about an actor. So already love the writing, and then you've one-upped it by making it about an actor. This is another book that follows a pandemic. It's something to do with an actor who dies on stage, I think. I could Google it. I could literally Google it. What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? Station 11. Yeah, okay. An actor has a heart stage while doing King Lear. And then the same night there's a massive pandemic, and then we flash forward to 20 years later, and I think it's something to do with a new actor performing either the same play, maybe not the same play, but performing to like new people and like a new group that have kind of built themselves up during this pandemic 20 years later. That's kind of all I know, but I feel like I'm in safe hands with Emily St. John Mandel, having read Sea of Tranquility and adored it, and give me like an actor stage setting. Yeah, I'm there. Okay, talking of authors that I know and love, we have Private Rites by Julia Armfield. She is the author of Our Wives Under the Sea, which was stunning, and this book follows a deadly rainfall and 3 sisters, and I think it's something to do with their father has died or is dying, and they are estranged sisters, and that like event kind of brings them back together. And then I know it's some sort of dystopia, deadly rainfall kind of a setting. I don't really know. But the water imagery in Our Wives Under the Sea, because that one was largely set on a submarine, was beautiful. I don't know if that's deliberately a theme in her books or if that's just a complete coincidence, but a deadly rainfall, submarines, like, you see what I'm picking up. I have a feeling that we're going to get some more beautiful imagery, and I don't know, we'll see, but Our Wives Under the Sea was haunting and it has stuck with me, so I really hope this one does as well. Then we had to include a couple thrillers. I have What Lies in the Woods. This is actually a book that my mum read and then gave to me, but I know it's pretty popular, but I could not tell you what it's about. Okay, my research tells me that we're following these 3 girls who, like many years ago, were in the woods playing a game. I think they were like teenagers, and one of the girls was attacked and like had stab wounds. And then the 3 girls like testified against this man. He went to prison, but then we're way in the future. It says decades afterward. I think we're finding out that some of the testimony maybe wasn't true, so potentially they've put the wrong person in prison. I don't know. It just says that there's secrets and whatnot, but it's got a pretty high average rating, so I feel like that could be a very good one for the fall. Then next, I can't believe I haven't read this book yet. The Last Housewife by Ashley Winstead. I've actually never read from this author either, and she has so many books that intrigue me. So we have another cult setting, and we follow this woman who met and kind of was like captivated by a man when she was at university. And then I think, does she go to live with him? Have I made that detail up? Maybe. But it says that her and her friend Shay are the only 2 people who managed to escape. And then we kind of flash forward 8 years later, and she hears that one of her friends, who I think was somehow involved, has died, but I think it's like under suspicious circumstances. So she is kind of like investigating that. I feel like I really didn't do justice to that blurb at all. Oh, and there's a podcast element. Love that. I don't know, I feel like I didn't do justice to that blurb because I did skim read it, but every time that I read the blurb of that book, hear reviews of it, it just sounds like something I could love. I've heard it's very dark, but I have high hopes. Then, talking of books that are described as very dark, we have Pretty Girls. Again, never read from Karin Slaughter, but I've heard good things. Every person who describes this book just says it's unbelievably dark, so sign me up. So we're following Claire. 20 years ago, her sister went missing, and it says now another girl has disappeared, and there's kind of like similarities. Oh, that's really all it says. Fair enough. That's like the tiniest book description ever, but okay, that's fine. I've heard good things though. I've heard good things. It's a pretty non-blurb, but I'm gonna read it anyway. It's actually a book that I thrifted when I was in Edinburgh, and that was like a year and a half ago. So definitely time that we get to that one. Then another book that I am intimidated by, but this time it's a tiny book, so I don't really know why. We have This Is How You Lose the Time War. This is a book told across time through letters, and I think it's two lovers throughout time writing to each other. I've heard it's confusing as anything, but then everyone said that about Sea of Tranquility, and to me, I don't know why, I've connected those two books in my head. I think it's mostly because they're both blue and tiny and they're sat next to each other on my bookshelves, which isn't a good reason to connect two books, but in my head, I've connected them because everyone told me they were really complicated, and I found Sea of Tranquility fine. Like, I didn't struggle with it, so I kind of have given myself new confidence, even though my logic doesn't make any sense, but I don't know. Anyway, I've heard it's confusing, but I've also heard it's beautiful. I have heard it's quite flowery writing, which worries me a little bit because that's not my favourite style of writing, but then equally, it could be beautiful. It's also like 150 pages, so why have I not read it yet? No excuses, I need to read it. And then finally, we have Six of Crows. I'm not a huge fantasy reader, which is why, again, I haven't read this one yet, but I own both of them. It's a duology, which I love, perfect number of books in a series. And I feel like fall time, autumn time is the perfect time for a little fantasy. And this book is just so beyond loved. Everybody adores this book series. I've read one Leigh Bardugo book before. I read Ninth House ages ago, possibly not even on this channel. I can't remember. But really liked it. Was so much darker than I was expecting, but really liked it. Didn't actually ever end up continuing that series, but Six of Crows is 2 books. I feel like it's time. Okay, that is the end of my list. If you've read any of these books, let me know. Encourage me if you enjoyed any of these. Encourage me to pick them up because I'm a little scared of some of them. If you haven't already, please subscribe, like the video, all of that fun stuff. Let me know what's on your autumn TBR and I will catch you in the next one. I love you so much. Goodbye. It was higher pitched than normal, sorry.